Unit 3 American Revolution and the Early Republic 1776 to 1791. Once the Declaration of Independence was signed, the United States was born, but Americans still had work ahead. First, they needed to win a war against one of the best army and the most powerful navy in the world. Next, they had to invent a whole new form of government. Chapter 11 The American Revolution Timeline to Real Independence. Americans declare independence, but they weren't independent yet. Washington was put in charge of the Continental Army in 1775, but it was less an army than a collection of part-time volunteer militias, only contracted to fight for 1 year. The Continental Congress suggests draft mandatory call of duty to serve in an army, but not everyone participated. The wealthy paid slaves, apprentices, or others to serve in their place. The British master of a well-trained professional army and ruler of a great empire were confident of victory. The Battle of Long Island. Summer of 1776, over 30,000 British soldiers under General William Howe arrived in New York City. Washington's troops were outnumbered. August 1776, in the Battle of Long Island, the Patriots were driven out of New York and then New Jersey, and forced to take refuge in Pennsylvania across the Delaware River. The British were so sure the war would be over soon that they left the defense of New Jersey up to the Hessian, a group of German mercenaries, while the British Army spent winter in comfort in New York. Thomas Paine, the author of Common Sense, also wrote a series of pamphlets called American Crisis. The first one, published in 1776, begins with the line, "There are the time that try man's soul." Washington crosses the Delaware. Christmas Day, 1776, during a terrible storm, Washington and thousands of his troops secretly rowed across the Delaware River while the Hessians were celebrating Christmas. The next morning, while the Hessians were camped out of Trenton and still sleeping, the Continental Army attacked and won an important victory. January 2, 1777, British General Charles Cornwallis, in charge of the British troops, tried to stop the Continental Army, but Washington was a step ahead. His troops lit campfire near Princeton to make it look like they were resting. Instead, they followed the British troops and made another surprise attack. The Battle of Saratoga. Spring of 1777, the British plan was to capture the city of Albany and take control of the Hudson River to cut off New England from the other colonies. General William Howe would move north up the Hudson. General John Burgoyne would head south from Canada and recapture Fort Ticonderoga on the way. Lieutenant Colonel Barry, Saint Leger would travel down the Mohawk Valley. All three would meet in Albany. That was the theory anyway. Don't have the because he's beautiful. General Hugon was affectionately called Gentleman Johnny Bogan, but he is truthful for his kindness and maybe also for his good looks and fashion sense. New England, 1777. Long Island, New York City, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Valley Falls, Crossing, Delaware River, Pennsylvania, New York, Continental, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Albany, Hudson River, Mohawk Valley, Mohawk River, Saratoga, Port Iconderoga. Who decided it's better to capture Philadelphia? He forced the Continental Congress to flee the city. Burgoyne recaptured Ticonderoga, but Gentleman Johnny didn't know where wasn't on his way up the Hudson and was trapped in the wood by American militias. Saint Leger was forced back en route on the way to the Mohawk Valley by American General Benedict Arnold. Territory spy, not good guy. Not good guy. Burgoyne eventually made it to Saratoga, New York, where he was met by the American force of General Horatio Gage. The British had no reinforcement and no escape route. On October 17th, they surrendered, and the Battle of Saratoga became the first major American victory of the Revolutionary War. The victory was led the French to get involved in the revolution. The French and British were bitter enemies, so the French began supporting the Patriot when they saw that the Americans could win and wouldn't be satisfied with anything less than independence. Winter at Valley Pass. Winter of 1777, the Continental Army suffered through one of the worst winters on record, while the British were comfortable in Philadelphia. The Continental Army was camped 20 miles west at Valley Forge. The 12,000 troops and almost no food, clothing, or supply. About a quarter of them died before spring. Those who survived had spent the winter training under Prussian officer Baron von Steuben, hired by Congress for his military expertise, special skill or knowledge. They became a small but very skilled new Continental Army. John Paul Jones. Most privateers attacked British naval bases in the Caribbean. John Paul Jones, an immigrant who had been a fugitive in Scotland, had become a war hero in 1779 after his ship, the bomb Richard, and the British warship Serapis port near the British coast. When asked to surrender, John reportedly replied, "I have not yet begun to fight." Serapis surrendered first. Help from overseas. 1778, the French had been secretly providing supplies and their navy to the Patriot. The victory at Saratoga, plus the charm of Benjamin Franklin as American diplomat in France, convinced the French to support the U.S. publicly. In 1778, King Louis XVI decided that France would officially become an ally and declare war on Great Britain. Privately owned ship commissioned by the government to fight the enemy. In exchange, the ship could keep whatever they found on enemy ship. 1779, Spain joined the war against England. Louisiana governor Bernard de Galvez helped Spain take Natchez, Baton Rouge, and other cities from the British. Holland also helped the Patriot with loan and funding. The Marquis de Lafayette, a young French nobleman, became a trusted aide to George Washington. Lafayette was such a strong believer in the Revolutionary War that he paid the troops under his command out of his own pocket. War won Western Front. The British Army had to spread out to cover a lot of land. West of the Appalachian Mountain, the British gained Native American allies like Mohawk chiefs Joseph Barnes,